let's talk about our general ledger. So general ledger with dimensions. So think of a journal entry when I'm charging office supplies expense to a specific department. I'm going to hit the general ledger account, office supplies, and I want to put an attribute to that or to that transaction for my marketing department, for example. So I'm going to charge $500 to my marketing department's office supplies and tag that so I can track that $500 against my marketing budget. Okay. So if I have $1,000 budget, I just charge $500 against that particular department's budget. So those dimensions give me the ability to break out a transaction and designate it to the different departments or divisions or whatever dimensions we've defined so that we can later report on it. That's really the benefit of the dimension, is it allows us to break down those charges against departmental, and that's the easiest example I can give you, because most people budget at a department level.
It really comes down to it's a slightly different way to build your chart of accounts that makes it much easier to manage and maintain, and then makes it more powerful to get information out. In a lot of ERP systems, if you want to have, in Ashley's example, marketing expense by the grant, you're going to have, account 7,000, 7301 is marketing grant 1, 7302 is marketing grant 2, 7303 is marketing grant 3, where you have individual GL accounts for each grant if you want to track it at that level. Which means that every time you add a new grant, you have to add all the accounts that are associated with that grant for tracking all the different kinds of expenses against that grant. This way, it allows you to just have all the different expense accounts, marketing, rent, whatever. And as soon as we add an additional grant into the dimension, you immediately have that dimension or that grant available across all those different accounts. So it makes it more like a matrix, more like a spreadsheet, instead of this just big long list. So it's just a different way to look at how to break down your data. And then the other big advantage that the dimensions has is you can break things by more than one dimension. So when we start looking at something like payroll expense, we can have parts of it be broken by grant. We can have parts of it be broken by department. We can have parts of it, broken down in other ways. So it really just becomes a much more flexible way to slice and dice our data at the general ledger and really throughout the system level.